I'm Insomniac, and this is John Brown from PT's Coffee.
Oh, yo! Insomniac.
Alright, well, I'd like to give a big shout out to Nathan Stort for sending this coffee in. He's actually sent in quite a few of the coffees you've seen on this channel. This John Brown, some of your heads are going to explode in a minute because I haven't shown you any beans, and that grinder's not going to get used. That's because this was already sent in ground. I can't do anything about it. If the coffee is sent in ground, it's sent in ground. And Nate tells me that that's because they actually didn't have any whole bean of this particular roast left. So I'll take what I can get and hopefully still be able to give you as accurate a review as I can with the ground coffee. Alright, let's take a look at the packaging real quick. It actually has his name on it on top. I guess they held it for him or something. So here is the packaging, PT's Coffee. I actually like their logo, and I like most of their packaging. It's pretty cool. Here's the label for the John Brown. Alright, your sides of the bag, those are pretty cool. I'm not going to go through reading all of that. Hopefully my review will give you a lot of information, plus there's an info screen in the beginning where you can get a lot of information. Here is the back, which I think is also pretty cool. It says, "Without the love, it's just coffee." So like I said, pretty cool packaging. First thing you get out of the bag when you smell it is chocolate-covered cherries. Like those, I don't know the brand, but the ones that come in those two-tier boxes and they have that white gooey stuff inside. That's exactly what it smells like. Then it smells like a whole bunch of other fruit. I get a lot of grape, some plum, a little bit of nectarine, definitely some apple. It's just extremely fruity. Possibly the fruitiest aroma that I've gotten out of a coffee. It's also extremely sweet, so you have some really, really big aromas right out of the bag. Alright, well I'm going to use the Aeropress for this because I actually tested it earlier and the grind size that this came in does work well with the Aeropress, so let's get this brewed up. First aromas after you brew it kind of smell like an earthy, dirty chocolate. What I mean by that is there's definitely chocolate in there somewhere, but it's not just like, ooh, wow, what a chocolatey coffee. It more smells like moist dirt and dishwater, but with chocolate in it. And don't take that as an insult, it actually smells pretty good. That's just what it's reminding me of. You have a really sweet aroma mixed in there, specifically honey. And there's actually a really nice kind of toasted or roasted nutty aroma that I can't really put my finger on. I can't really smell what type of toasty nut it is, but it's some kind of nutty aroma. Let's see what it tastes like. It's a really rich, dark, earthy flavor. Lots of earth, very rich, very smooth though, not rich like bitter or too heavy in the mouth. You have a tiny touch of dark chocolate in there. You definitely get some black cherry in there as the bag advertises on the label, and a little bit of that tobacco. You have kind of like a medium tobacco finish. I wouldn't necessarily call it a sweet tobacco like it says on the bag, but definitely a bit of a tobacco note in there. The coffee's very smooth. It actually has very good body, and again, without being too bitter or heavy in the mouth. And at the same time, you have this really interesting brightness. It's the only way I could describe it. Each sip has its own kind of, it's not exactly a sweetness or anything like that. I guess maybe it's the acidity of the coffee. It has this really kind of just like bright pop to it. Despite the fact that the flavors are on the darker side, it really has an interesting kind of brightness to it is the best way I could describe it. Yeah, it's a pretty good cup of coffee. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites maybe that I've reviewed on the channel, but very good. If you like the type of flavors that I outlined in this review, it's probably something you should try. And who knows, you might get a little bit different flavors, or at the very least, maybe a little bit larger flavor profile out of the whole bean if they have it back in stock, because as a lot of you know, the ground coffee is not going to be as fresh as the whole bean version. And this was extremely flavorful, even for a pre-ground coffee that I've had here for a little while. So Pretty good coffee. If you've had it, definitely leave a comment down below. Tell people what you thought of it. And if you'd like to have 1 week early access to all my coffee reviews and coffee-related videos, plus some other rewards, sign up at the link at the top of the video description down there. That is the Patreon page for Should I Drink This. Okay, I will see you all at the next one.